My name's Gail. This is a Nissan 180SX Jap import. I've owned it for about a year and a half now. Bought it from a guy who imported it. He imported it about 8 years ago. So it's got a Blitz front mount intercooler, run a GT28R ball bearing turbo with an upgraded HKS actuator out of a S15 spec car. It's running about 300 brake horsepower at the moment, with a welded diff and a competition clutch as well. So it really does like to spin the rear wheels, especially on a day like this as well. It's really easy drive, to be honest. I was quite surprised. I always drove like old little front wheel drive cars or four wheel drive. So to jump, this is my first rear wheel drive car. To jump into something like this is pretty immense with running 300 brake. But you do get used to it. It's more the clutch feel and getting used to that competition clutch feel rather than anything else. Once you know the rear wheels are going, you can kind of start catching it. When I was younger, I always played Need for Speed Underground, inspired by the original 240SX that was on there. So I always wanted to buy a Japanese car, and then obviously following on from Fast and Furious, all pretty cool cars and stuff. And then a friend of mine actually bought an S13 a few years ago, and that basically inspired me to buy my own and start playing around with it.
I'm Rob Holland, so this is my EP3, this is also my girlfriend's FN2. So the reason I drive this is I previously used to have a track spec Saxo and wanted something a bit fun. So in the end, wanted something as well that was good value for money, so in the end picked this one up on about 36,000 miles and had it as a daily for about 7 years. Both were previously on air, now both down on coilovers on my Stras. With this one here, with sort of fairly basic sort of setup with air filter, exhaust system, just over 200 brake with this, but this one's very much around the look. So company called Exquisite, who used to be in Leatherhead, recently moved not too far away, did a lot of the paint work, so all the purple is a custom colour, which goes across most of the car. They did a couple of other bits as well. This one though, this one's actually been off the road for the last 8 months, so had a clutch release bearing go, and in the end we ended up doing a hell of a lot. So we pulled the engine out, redid the clutch, literally painted everything in the base, so the block, rocker cover, all the steering arms, and absolutely everything's been redone. Full chassis setup, so fully poly bushed. We've got adjustable steering arms, we've got thicker anti-roll bar on the rear, hard race lower control arms as well, running on a set of Volt Racing SE 37Ks. The engine bay itself is around 235 brake without the nitrous. With nitrous it's about 270. Exterior wise, we've got aero package with CM composites front splitter, Tegura front canards, and then we've got side skirt extensions, Mugen rear spoiler. All the carbon on the car is genuine, so I do get asked if it's wrapped. For everyone watching, it is genuine carbon. Stripped out rear with full boot build, bolt-in cage from SW Motorsport, Buddy Club seats, 621 harnesses. So yeah, a lot of fun to drive.
My name is Gail, I'm French. I moved to England 1 year ago. I always wanted to have a 350Z, but back in France, like, it's not easy to get them. So we moved here, and 6 months ago I decided to get my own 350Z. It was pretty much stock when I got it, and decided that I wanted to have a different look. So I decided to go for a new bumper. So that's the same one as the 370Z Nismo, but for the 350. I've done the rear diffuser, splitter on the side as well. Yeah, a few things like NRG, steering wheel removal, and all this kind of stuff. I'm a big Japanese fan, so I knew I wanted a Japanese car, and yeah, 350 is quite easy and cheap to get, so that's why I went for the 350, and I always wanted one, so yeah. It's a really fun car, really easy to go sideways if you're not careful, even more when it's raining, but yeah, it's a really fun car. I really like it. I mean, didn't buy it for the power or anything because it's quite heavy, so it's not gonna go like super fast, but yeah, it's a really fun car. I really want to go turbo at some point, so maybe next year hopefully, and I think from the outside of the car it's gonna be pretty much like this all the time, just yeah, do more in the engine bay.